Well, turning now to our feature articles for the week. This week we are proud to bring you the latest installment of our series of pieces from and interviews with many of the top quality professionals at the Ford Motor Company. So in a few moments we're going to be joined by Bennie Fowler, Ford's Group Vice President of Global Quality and New Model Launch. Bennie's latest article, Striving for Perfection at Ford, ran in Thursday's issue of Quality Digest Daily, and it addresses the 4 P's of quality at Ford: product, process, people, and perception. These are topics that we plan to track throughout the year with Ford, so look out for that. We're going to be having other pieces from Ford, right, and other high-ranking members of Ford's team.
Yes, we hope to have several throughout the year.
We have had already. You may recall we've had Bennie on the show last year. We had Adrian Vito of Ford on the show, and Dr. Jay Zhao was on the show as well. So also interesting. We've had quality folks, engineers, and we're going to have more of that going forward as the year progresses. Right. So without further ado, I am very pleased to welcome Bennie Fowler of the Ford Motor Company to the show. Bennie, welcome.
Good afternoon, Dirk, and good afternoon, Mike. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Great.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us again. As I mentioned, we had you on the show a few months back in the middle of 2012, and we want to continue the conversation because the article that you wrote that appeared in our newsletter earlier this week, I think was interesting, and I want to kind of jump right into it and talk a little bit about the 4 Ps and how they keep you and the Ford team on track during, as you mentioned, your journey to quality, your quality journey.
Okay, fantastic. Looking forward to the dialogue, so fire away.
Sure. Well, so talk about the 4 Ps. So, and because you use that kind of as a framing device, people, process, product, and perception. So talk a little bit about how that's developed and how you came to that as the framing device, let's say, for quality at Ford.
Well, make no mistake about it, in the car business, it is all about the products and services that you offer. And at Ford, that's certainly the key. So let's just talk a little bit about what customers and how they perceive quality. And when we think about it and when we listen to our customers, first of all, you really want a vehicle that looks great on your driveway. And you want to be proud of the vehicle that you've purchased. And certainly when you look at the vehicles that Ford is producing today from a styling perspective, when you look at the recent launches of the Fusion, the MKZ, and maybe even vehicles that we've kind of shown as concepts, the new MKC that was shown at the Detroit Motor Show, as well as the new Atlas pickup truck, this kind of signals what the design language is going to be in the future. You start to think of product and styling as fast becoming a strength of Ford. Secondly, from a technology standpoint, you really have to provide technologies that provide greater benefit to customers using their vehicles today. And examples of that would like my Ford Touch, my Lincoln Touch, just to name a few. And then we're really working on becoming leaders in fuel economy. And when you look at some of the vehicles that we're getting, a host of vehicles over 30 miles per gallon, we're really driving fuel economy with the power of choice, with the engine combinations we have, whether it be EcoBoost, our new hybrid vehicles. We're really starting to drive fuel economy. And then last but certainly not least, the safety is a very important part of what we think our products should have. And we got a number of vehicles that have been rated by the top safety organizations in the world as some of the best safety picks in terms of our products. Well, that, along with the fact that we have been improving the concerns that are in our products, we think the combination is great.
Well, Bennie, one of the things that was interesting to me in your article is obviously you guys have done a lot of work. You've launched a lot of new products or updates to existing products. But one of the things that interests me from a customer service standpoint is not only new product launches and new releases, is you mentioned in the article how pleased you were that since 2006 you have decreased your percent of customer concerns. Now, was that, when you said that, was that in terms of initial quality or concerns in general, or what were we referring to in that? Because I think that's a huge deal to be able, it's a nice thing to put out a nice looking vehicle and one that looks good in your driveway, as you say. It's another thing to be getting, have customer concerns, and the fact that you decrease that, I think, is really important.
Well, it's in terms of warranty. It's in terms of initial quality also, and IQS, and it's also vehicle dependability. And if you saw the recent J.D. Power's survey, it did have the Lincoln brand as number 3 in the survey. And also, I think the Ford brand was 11 or 12 in that survey, and in the top auto manufacturers. So a lot of progress on both the initial quality, the high mileage, as well as the appeals element of product quality.
Bennie, talk a little bit about Ford. Of course, hey, very large company, multinational company. You have locations all over the world. So talk a little bit about how you drive quality and how you have a culture of quality that you share across the very broad platform of your company. How do you communicate those messages, and how do you make sure that everyone's aligned with the message of quality throughout Ford?
Well, we have a basic quality operating system that we believe that when followed, it enhances our probability of success and helps us deliver defect vehicles to our customers. And whether we start from the shop floor to the top of the house, one of the key things that we think is critical to the success of maintaining the quality operating system is a constancy of purpose around learning, teaching, and applying the methodologies that are espoused in the quality operating system. And my organization does quite a bit of learning, of teaching of the quality operating systems and the standards and procedures that we have around the world. I mean, in an organization as large as Ford is, there has to be a commitment from the top leadership in the company, whether it be our unions, whether it be our senior management, and I'm fortunate as the quality leader at Ford to have that from both sides, and that makes it easier for us to get the job done.
Hey, Bernie, we only got a little bit of time left here, so maybe quickly, if you could give us kind of a real example, maybe of in terms of maybe new product releases. What was one of the toughest issues your team had to tackle? Maybe either you personally or your team. What do you think was? Give us an example of how this quality methodology and quality from throughout the organization, how that was used to tackle a tough issue.
Well, I think probably the toughest issues that we probably had to deal with in the last 5 or 6 years that I've been on this job is the release of My Ford Touch. When you think about what we're offering to the customers in terms of features, content, and really bringing that technology, which was usually reserved for luxury customers, into the masses, we decided that we were going to be leaders in technology, and that was our first introduction. And if I think about that software release, that was 7 million lines of code that we released in order to bring that technology and all the features that you have right at your fingertips or at a voice command to be able to use. It's probably the largest challenge that we face. And I think that we've learned a lot from the introduction of My Ford Touch in terms of from the design to the manufacture to really the handover to the customers in terms of explaining and making the product more intuitive. Those are things that we've learned from listening to the voice of the customer and really bringing that technology to life. So I think, in the software game, which is only limited by the imagination of what man could think about using software, it probably is it's an example of one of the technologies that's offered the greatest challenge to us as an organization.
Well, Bennie, thank you again for joining us. That's the time that we have, but we really appreciate you joining us again. Bennie Fowler there of the Ford Motor Company. Bennie, we're going to see you again down the road, and we'll be talking more about quality at Ford and communicating that to our audience in the future. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you later.
Well, thank you very much, and it's time. If you haven't been in the showroom to buy a Ford or Lincoln, it's time to do that. So thanks a lot.
Absolutely, I'm due for a new car.
Thanks, Bennie. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, fantastic.
Thanks, Bennie.
Bye-bye.
Great interview with Bennie Fowler.
Bennie
of Ford.
Fowler, yeah, Bennie Fowler, really good guy, and has some good insights into quality.
Yeah, it's nice for the folks at Ford to take some time away from
Yes.
their busy schedules and just join us on our show here for a few minutes.
Absolutely. So thanks to Bennie for that.
Yeah.